Listen to me very carefully, my gorgeous Aquarius, and I do know how crazy, how mental this is actually going to sound when you hear a distant thunder. Yes, that's what I said. The moment in time you hear a distant thunder, and it's gonna happen in October. And you need to understand that I do not need to give you the date. I don't need to tell you the actual date or a day when this is going to happen, because when you hear that distant thunder, wherever you are, whatever you do, whatever you are doing, you are going to hear this. You're gonna become aware of a distant thunder. What do I mean by this? This in itself is a very, very sacred, very, very special and very unusual and rather powerful sign for you. When you hear the moment in time you hear a distant thunder, my gorgeous aquamarini, that moment in time you will see what was on your mind. You will see that this is indeed going to make sense. Whenever this happens in October, you need to pay attention to what was on your mind, and you need to remember this. It's time to clear the air. Number one. Number two, you have overcome an absolutely mind-blowing obstacle, one of the biggest obstacles of your life. And if you overcame that particular obstacle, you can overcome absolutely anything. It is to do with so much that you've been going through. It is to do with a time in your life where you felt like you were completely left on your own. You felt lonely for so long, yet you were surrounded by so many people. And some of those people that you've been surrounded with, were meant to be the most important people in your life. You have learned an absolutely mind-blowing message, and I don't want to sound dark, negative or morbid, but the message that you've learned is that this life is very, very difficult. Sometimes this life is not what it seems, and sometimes even the most important people in our lives can turn our back at us absolutely like this, as easy as anything. Why? Only because of being greedy, because of the greediness, because of money, because of the financial situations, because of finances, because of jealousy. You have put a tremendous amount of energy towards something really specific. You've been working really hard. You've been not necessarily just work when it comes to work, but you've been trying your best in order to keep everything on top, and in order to do what you need to do in this life in order to survive. There was so much going on, and I've been talking about this for so long, my gorgeous aquamarini, because it's been going on in your life for absolute ages, okay? So that's why I'm saying that, I know this sounds crazy when you hear this distant thunder. I know this sounds absolutely mental, but trust me, it is going to happen like that. So it's not only about distant thunder. It's not only about you needing to know that now it's time to clear the air, but you also, most importantly, need to know that you overcame an absolutely massive obstacle. And if you can overcome this, you can overcome absolutely anything. So now it's time, to begin now. This is what is this all about. It's time for you to take your first step. And what this first step is going to be about, it's to do with you needing to clear the air, but then again, at the same time, you have to do this without any argument whatsoever. You need to become very, very methodical methodical about something. You need to be very smart, very sharp, and very clever how you actually going to do this, because you see, you must take this first step in order to clear the air, but you have to be very, very clever about it, not to upset absolutely anyone. You are so smart, you are super intelligent, you are super intuitive, and on top of that, you are a natural empath, but you are such a gentle person, you are such a gentle soul, and this in itself is your power. All this you can use, and you will use, my gorgeous Aquamarini, when it comes to your own advantage, you know. So this is why it's important to kind of like make the necessary step to clear the air, but at the same time you are gonna need to make sure that, you know, this you do like in a very clever way, but without trying to upset people around you. And I'm talking about people who are not really good, I'm talking about people who are not really nice, and I'm talking about those people that have turned their back at you at a time when you maybe needed them the most. And this in itself was absolutely obvious, I would say, within the last year quite a lot, because these people have showed, you know, they showed their faces to you. You've seen their faces, the masks fall down, you know, and what you've seen after was not pretty, it was not nice, but you're the one who is going to come on top. So this is why it's important for you to understand that you are going to need to clear the air, and what exactly this is going to be about. You know, this is the way the spiritual domino goes, my babies. This is the way the spiritual domino goes, because when you hear that distant thunder at around the same time, you will be thinking about these people, you will be thinking about these situations, you will be thinking about these problems, and then you're going to remember, this is what Sasha was saying, this is what Sasha was trying to warn me about. And you know, it's not necessarily that you need to do this immediately, like make that first step, but it's more about starting to kind of prepare yourself that very soon after that you are going to have a really important conversation. And the conversation, by the time it actually happens with these specific people in your life, then you need to clear the air, but you need to make sure that you are smart, you are clever, you need to be one step ahead by making sure that, you know, these creatures don't get upset whatsoever. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarine, you know what, when it comes to the actual numerology, your number is 3132. 3132. It's a very powerful combination of numbers, but it also means that you really need to hurry up with something. Something was on your mind, that someone in your life, someone very specific, a very, very naughty person, a very, very naughty person who is so greedy, who became so greedy that person became unrecognizable, okay, to you, because it's someone who you know for a very, very, very long time. But that person became very greedy, and that person is the pure example of what money can do to people. It just takes their soul away, it takes their spirit away. These people see nothing but the actual money, and that's very ugly and it's very horrible, especially when it comes to some specific people in our lives that means to us so much, but we just kind of starting to realize that we don't mean to them as much as they mean to us, or we see things in a completely different light. And this is why this is so scary. But what this indicates, it indicates that you have to be very quick and very sharp, because that one specific person who's been the vilest, you know, very vile, you know, very greedy, that person was giving you so many problems within the last couple of years, but within the last year it was absolutely crazy. That particular person, you need to hurry up with something. This is so crazy. You know what this is, but the time is coming up. I don't know how to say this, but the time is coming up when someone is going to leave this world. And by the time that particular person in your life leaves this world, you need to sort out some kind of a situation here, because that vile, horrible person who is nothing but greedy, it's maybe gonna try to step in, and this person is so horrible that if the situation happens in your life and you end up on the street, and this is like maybe somebody directly connected to you, like a family member, if you ended up on the street, this person wouldn't even do anything. They wouldn't even blink. And you know this. So I know this sounds weird and crazy, but a time is coming very soon when somebody is going to leave this world. And I don't mean to be a sad, dark lala whatsoever, but I can only tell you what I see. And when that person leaves this world, then this particular situation, something needs to be finalized, something needs to be sorted, something needs to be finalized, because if something is not finalized, that evil, greedy person, it's actually gonna do a really big damage to you. Not like a financial damage, or like some kind of damage that it's gonna that it's going to be irreparable. And it's not going to surprise you. It wouldn't surprise you, purely because what this person has been doing for such a long time. It's not gonna surprise you. But you would only kind of like blame yourself for the rest of your life. Why didn't you do something at the time when you still had the time to actually do something? I know this sounds really confusing probably, but this is so important for you to kind of really understand and do something about it. It's like, oh my goodness. And also, my gorgeous aquamarini, it's like basically do not, at around the 18th and the 19th of October, do not bite back. Someone is gonna try to really, it's not only one person, but a couple of people who are part of this kind of group, almost like as if these creatures, almost they've been they gang themselves up kind of against you. You're such a beautiful soul, you're such a beautiful spirit, and they are just showing their ugly faces. But the bottom line is that they are gonna, almost like, is they're gonna have a try to prove their point to you, but it's gonna surprise you. They're gonna kind of appear around you, they're gonna come and see you or something like that at the time when you least expect it. And this is really going to surprise you. So you need to be prepared to respond in the best way. Almost as if they're gonna try to and want to argue about something. They're gonna be attacking you about something persistently and argue about something, but about what they're gonna be arguing, it's like you did make the right decision. You just remember this. It's about a certain decision that you've made not that long ago, but you made the right decision. Just remember, this is all part of the people that have turned their back at you at the time when you needed them the most. You know who are the right people in your life. You know who are genuine people in your life. And don't be sad and don't be negative, my gorgeous aquamarine, because you've learned an absolutely invaluable lesson. That sometimes, sadly, those people that are the closest to us, they're not necessarily the most beautiful, when it comes to their soul and their spirit. And I know it's not a nice subject, but it's the way this life is. It's not all really pretty, but you need to understand that you are going to be the one who is actually going to come on top out of all this eventually. So don't worry about it whatsoever. I've already said that the process of an important unfoldment already started for you in August. I missed September's reading, okay, but in August I already told you that this started like a kind of the process of unfoldment, and this is all part of this right now. So when you kind of almost as if you're gonna be confronted by more than one person, couple, 2 or 3 people maybe even 4, you're gonna be confronted. But you need to understand that it's also gonna happen at a time when you're gonna be dealing with so much, almost as if you're gonna be a little bit stroppy, a little bit nervous, and you have to respond in a completely different way. You must not bite back. Don't be aggressive back. Don't be negative back. Just have a smile on your face, and this is going to confuse these dark little creatures. Just Just be as compassionate as you possibly can. Be as optimistic as you possibly can. But do not kind of argue, and if they ask you something, you can answer the question, but do not go down that road to argue or have some kind of negativity with them. Just have a big smile on your face and try to respond as positive as you possibly can. Trust me, it's really going to surprise them. It's gonna throw them out of balance, but then at the same time you're also going to realize that that was probably the most intelligent thing that you could possibly do, because later on, as the direct result of this, you are going to become aware of a very, very interesting choice that you wouldn't otherwise have, which is indeed gonna come from these dark creatures. So fire doesn't, you don't put fire out with fire, especially with this situation. They are fire and you're a water, my gorgeous aquamarine. Just pour yourself all over them and put them out for once. No, seriously, you just do this with positivity and with optimism, whatever they throw at you. And later on, that particular day, you will see some kind of option and possibility for you that is gonna be absolutely completely out of this world, and you would never ever ever have that whatsoever. So this is why you need to stay on top of it, my gorgeous aquamarini. This dark stage and the period in your life is slowly but surely coming to an end, and I like this so much. Why am I saying this? Because you know what, by the end of this October, let me tell you, I know this all sounds really sad and negative, but it seems like I cannot possibly do a normal reading for aquamarini. I cannot do it, but no, it's not a bad thing whatsoever, but it's just that your spiritual journey became very, very complex. Thank God you're such a clever spiritual beings. You really do remind me of cats. Cats are very spiritual, they're very clever. Maybe because I'm surrounded by my little cat statues and my cats everywhere, maybe that's why, but you really remind me of cats, because you're very kind of like a spiritual, you're very clever, and especially when it comes to your spiritual intelligence, you are indeed something different. But by the end of October, you are gonna have a great, amazing, mind-blowing news when it comes to all this, when it comes to all these people, when it comes to all these situations, when it comes to everything. You are going to have a really, really great news anyway. So this is why it's important for you to respond to everything in the best possible way. Just remember that the fire you don't put out with the actual fire. Just pour yourself over it with your positivity, with your optimism. This is when you are the most powerful. And let these creatures learn something new about their life and about their spiritual journey, because later on this is actually going to make them, this is going to make a really big impact on their lives, and you are actually probably going to save their souls, and then later they are going to start seeing things in a different light, and believe me or not, they are going to realize exactly what they were doing. In fact, in December 2023 already something really crazy is gonna happen when one of them is gonna come out at you, and then you will see like, oh my god, this is really going to change. But the bottom line is that at around the end of this month, my gorgeous aquamarini, you are gonna have a fantastic news, a brilliant achievement, fantastic accomplishment, and absolutely an amazing victory. This is gonna be the first time in absolute ages that you are gonna be able to chill out, you are gonna be able to relax, you are gonna be able to do something really nice for yourself, and I can see you rewarding yourself and doing something like a treating yourself, bless your heart. But also at around the end of October, you're also going to have, like, after that victory in itself, this is also bringing you quite interesting financial opportunity as well, which is really going to surprise you, this financial opportunity. But then again, at the same time, it's going to make you feel really indecisive. But then at around a similar time, you are going to become aware of some kind of money that is going going to come to you unexpectedly, whether this is going to be some kind of inheritance or whether this is going to be just an additional amount of money which is going to surprise you. This is going to kind of put you in a good mode, and it's going to make you feel very, very creative, especially when it comes to that indecisive moment that you are going to have. And this in itself is going to put you in a good mood, and you are going to make an important decision. This is brilliant because that particular decision that you are going to make here, it's also at the same time, and you will not know this, that particular decision that you are going to make at that particular moment in time, it's also going to be the time where karma it's about to come in, where your spiritual journey it's about to change in such a way where this in itself, you're also making a choice, and you're also opening a path for someone very, very special, very, very significant to enter your spiritual journey. There is so much more to it, and literally one thing is going to lead into another, like, oh my goodness. And also, my gorgeous aquamarini, when it comes to the actual nutrition and health, I know that you're going to feel a little bit run down throughout the months of October. You are going to maybe feel like a little bit stressed. You are going to feel like a little bit restless, and you are going to feel like maybe like a little bit anxious. And I highly, highly, highly suggest you to take something like a natural vitamin B complex the very first thing in the morning. B complex that you need to take, I would highly suggest you to take a natural vitamin B complex. Avoid chemicals, avoid unnecessary ingredients, and also if you get that natural B complex, make sure it's actually in a liquid form, like in a tincture, like a liquid form. And I would really prefer this so much because it's going to work so much better, and it's going to get into your bloodstream quicker, so much quicker, sorry. And also you take it on an empty stomach. The actual natural vitamin B complex drops that you put like about 20 drops, let's say, underneath your tongue, and then you wait about 20 seconds, and then you swallow the whole thing with the actual natural vitamin D3, which is also going to boost your immune system, but it's going to be super beneficial for your energy levels, for energy levels. For example, where B vitamin complex the first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, it's going to be brilliant for your stress levels, for your good mood. It's going to give you energy as well from the early start, alongside natural vitamin D3. So vitamin D3 and natural B complex, drops, take it the very first thing in the morning, and on an empty stomach, absolutely fine, but no more than that. And then it's gonna be fantastic when it comes to energy levels, when it comes to stress and things like that. You're gonna find this super, super beneficial. And also, you know what I highly suggest you to take, my gorgeous aquamarini, moringa powder. It's something, moringa is like a very, one of the most powerful things in this world. One of the most powerful things, one of the most nutritious things you can actually take. It's a moringa powder. Take this every single day throughout this month of October 2023. For the love of God, this is really going to rejuvenate you, regenerate you, and it's going to give you so much more energy and so much more of the precious vitamins and minerals. It's absolutely packed with vitamins and minerals, and it's completely natural. Moringa powder, very, very powerful leaves, and at the same time it's just a powder, leaves that are actually made into a powder. So you just need to kind of make sure this is natural without any unnecessary ingredients. You take not 1 teaspoon, you take just a third of the teaspoon. You must not take too much of this powder. You just take like a third of a teaspoon, for example, and you just mix it up with water and just drink it. It's like a green water. It doesn't really have a horrible taste or anything like that. So this combination is something which is really going to help you with energy and with so many other things as well, indeed, especially when it comes to you feeling a rundown and you feeling negative, you feeling down. One thing is going to kind of lead into another. So this is how you're actually going to protect yourself. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, just need to check with your doctor or GP. Only they can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications, my gorgeous aquamarini, or not. So now I'm going to start with the very first date. The very first date that I want to recommend you is the very 1st of October. On the very 1st of October, you're gonna have a very strange and unusual experience, like really bizarre. Something is gonna happen and you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is like, I don't know, it's a completely different dimension. That's because you're already tapping into this mind-blowing energy, because on the 31st of October, we have got a Samhain, which is also called like Halloween, when the veil in between this world and the spirit world is at its thinnest. So the whole energy of October is naturally completely different. It's not only about the end of October, but it's the whole energy of October. It's completely different, you know, but I like it. But then again, it's not only October, it's actually within the first week of November. It's like really this energy is like still making a huge impact on our life, which means that not only we are visited by all sorts of like a spirits, we feel like a kind of someone is guiding us more than we normally do, but we also become highly sensitive and intuitive indeed. So it's brilliant whichever way you actually look at it. You know what I mean? And on the 1st of October, you are going to have a very unusual, something very unusual is going to happen, something very strange. And this is really kind of going to throw you out of balance, because you're going to realize exactly what is missing in your life and how much is something actually missing in your life. And this is really going to put you nicely, slowly but surely, on a very, very powerful path, because you also need to understand that this is the path of the actual achievement. You're gonna achieve this. In fact, already by the time you get to the actual 28th of October, you're gonna become aware of a very interesting event that you otherwise wouldn't even notice. Subconsciously, you're gonna be guided to that moment in time through your own manifestation, baby. This is all part of your manifestation. So do not ignore this particular situation on the 1st of October. The bottom line is you're going to realize exactly what's missing in your life. On the 2nd of October, you're going to realize, my gorgeous Aquamarini, this is no joke whatsoever. You're going to realize, you know, the extent of maybe some kind of like, oh God, now you're going to have a go at me, like the extent of something that's gone really far. For example, you know, I've been saying this to you before. It's like to do with some kind of addiction to something, you know. So you need to be honest with yourself. But on the 2nd of October, something is going to happen. And this is really going to open the door, almost like as if you were in some kind of a cage so far. And on the 2nd of October, when you realize that some kind of addiction, you need to do something about it. As soon as you realize this, it's all in your mind. Your mind is your energy. It's very powerful indeed. Think negatively, you're going to bring negativity. Be optimistic and be positive. You're going to bring so many beautiful things on your path. But the bottom line is that the 2nd of October, you're going to realize that, you know, maybe something is kind of becoming like some kind of addiction, or some kind of that addiction of yours, it's going to be confirmed because you're going to do something maybe a little bit silly, maybe a little bit unusual, and then you're going to be like, why did I do this, you know? And then you're going to be like, I don't want to do this again. And then you're going to realize that you need to put a stop to some kind of addiction, you know. Maybe it's just smoking cigarettes, you know, I don't know what this is. It's very difficult to tell, you know what I mean? Like, I said so many times, like, do you know what? It's like addiction comes in so many different ways nowadays. So it's like basically it's really entirely up to you how open you are going to be. But this is a blessing. This is not happening just, oh yeah, you're reminded. No, baby, no. It's happening at the time when the balance is right. And even if it's like the most stressful time of your life, which is not going to be, even if it is, you know, it's still happening at the time when you do have a full power and you are indeed capable to actually do it. But you need to understand also, me being a dark Lala, that if you carry on with that addiction, you know that it's going to be very, very difficult to do something about it later on. Okay, so this is why you are still plenty of time ahead. Okay, plenty of time ahead. Okay, very important indeed. What else I was going to recommend, not what else, but what I was going to recommend you would be this gorgeous cornelian pendant. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this baby. Absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous. It has a power to empower you immediately. It empowers you immediately. It gives you confidence immediately. It re-energizes you immediately. When you feel uneasy, when you feel weird, when you feel like you have no self-esteem, when you need to do something important but you're just not feeling right. Maybe sometimes we can't sleep all night and then we need to have an important meeting or something. People don't care. Oh, sorry, I didn't sleep all night. People don't give a, you know what, people don't care whether you slept all night or not. You know, that's the way the life is. Do you know what I mean? But the bottom line is, it's fantastic for confidence. It's fantastic to make a really important decision. It's fantastic to re-energize you. It's brilliant when it comes to making important decisions. It's brilliant when it comes to like you also like being very indecisive about something. It like really kind of helps you to weigh on things like differently. The bottom line is, it's something which is going to re-energize you and give you confidence instantly, whatever you do, whether it's personal, whether it's to do with business, whether it's to do with work, whether it's to do with an important conversation. It comes, so much comes out of carnelian. This gorgeous carnelian comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. Just click on the name of this video. It's going to expand and you will see where you're gonna be able to buy this. The third important date, I'm gonna lose the count how many dates the next important date is gonna be on the 3rd of October. On the 3rd of October, you're gonna find yourself being very, very, here we go, indecisive. It's like, oh my God, what should I do? What should I do? That's what you're gonna think, because you are gonna have like a really unexpected situation here. Something very unexpected is going to happen, and first of all, oh my God, you're gonna feel like, I haven't got any luck. That's how you're gonna feel. Something unexpected is gonna happen, and it's not gonna be really nice to start with, and you're gonna feel like, oh my God, I've got a really bad luck, you know. But then again, you are gonna need to do something after that. And what are you gonna need to do after that? It's really gonna be like, it's really gonna be very kind of like an interesting experience you're going to have after that. And otherwise you wouldn't have this interesting and really important experience. So this is actually going to work in your favor like a big mama, like there is no tomorrow. So you're going to have a very kind of meaningful experience, like very interesting experience, like almost like a little adventure, which you need to understand that at the same time you are giving birth to some kind of creation. You are planting a very powerful spiritual seed at the same time without even realizing. I know that this sounds crazy, but this is to do with the beginning of an adventure that is going to make you feel extremely enthusiastic, but it's also bringing a powerful initiative into your life when it comes to like so many possibilities, and something that you are going to become obsessed about in a good way. Already by the 18th of October, on the 18th of October already, you are going to kind of have very interesting realization about that, and even further kind of even different ideas that are gonna like kind of just happen to your life, like, you know, like completely unexpectedly again. But anyway, going back onto the 3rd of October, so this is so important because this is gonna be the first time in ages you coming out of some kind of stagnation here that was making you to kind of fail to complete certain tasks that you would start lately. It would make you, this stagnation was also making you to have a lack of vision, and also it was making you to kind of follow old ways, and also it was like kind of like you knew what is going on in your life, but you're not doing enough about it because you were just like kind of in this vibration and energy that was making you to follow old ways, if that makes sense. It is very, very important indeed, my gorgeous Aquamarini. The 3rd of October is going to be very, very important, because just remember, you're not only coming out of the actual stagnation, but you're also, if you didn't have this like kind of unexpected negative experience, you would never be brought to this particular stage of your life, which is so, so, so important indeed. You see this here? You know, it's to do with like a really big emotional challenge, a really, really big emotional challenge, which is slowly but surely going to be resolved. And look at this when I'm shuffling these cards, oracle cards on the 3rd of October. This is going to lead, there you go, towards such an important clarity, okay, and trust. You see, clarity and trust, because it's to do with the truth, See, one of the most important truths of your spiritual journey, and I'm not even exaggerating it. Okay, the next important date, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's going to be on the 13th of October. On the 13th of October, you know, you're gonna really, but this is so important now, you know, you're gonna realize that someone was maybe on God, someone was maybe dishonest with you, and someone was lying to you, and this is gonna be extremely, extremely personal. So on the 13th of October, you're gonna realize that someone was lying to you, someone was dishonest with you, and you are gonna feel like such a, like, kind of a little bit pessimistic, and you're gonna feel like a little bit of a letdown. But then again, listen to me very carefully, that person is doing a favor to you. That person should have been like out of your life like absolutely ages ago. And I know that it sounds really, really harsh, but it's true. And just remember, this letdown and this like kind of pessimism, this is just temporary. This is just a temporary distraction, you know. This is important, because all this is like, you know, it's to do with a specific person that, you know, it's almost like a temptation to you. It became a temptation in your life, and it's almost like became like an impulsive mistake, you know, and lots of problems in your life also kind of stem and started and manifested because of that particular person here. And this is not somebody who's like a family member, but it's somebody who maybe, you know, who is this karma slowly but surely came to an end when it comes to your life as well. I know that this is a really kind of harsh for me to say, but again, it's like a really kind of, it's not only that person is part of your impulsive mistakes, part of your temptation, but that person is also having such a negative impact on you that it's making you do what you don't want to do, that it's making you do what you must not do, that it's making you do things that are actually really bad for you, and you know this, but you just can't help yourself whatsoever. So the sooner you snap out of it, my gorgeous Aquamarini, the better it's actually going to be. And also on the 13th of October, later on, nothing to do with this, another situation. It's not only the 13th, but the 13th, 14th of October, and even the 15th of October. You know, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, these 3 days are going to be really important, because some kind of family problem, it's going to be sorted out, and you're going to like this. Some kind of family issue, it's going to be sorted out, you know, part of the big picture, but you're going to find this really rewarding, because there are some new possibilities that are really going to surprise you. The new possibilities, some kind of new possibilities are going to surprise you here. And this is brilliant, because this is going to give you the chance to use your new knowledge. And even more so, by the time you get to the 30th of October, 30, by the time you get to the 30th of October, on the 30th of October, you are gonna have an amazing opportunity, amazing opportunity, which is gonna give you, which is gonna be connected to just this. And this amazing opportunity, you just need to be very strong, you need to be courageous and really optimistic, and you need to understand that as soon soon as you become aware of this opportunity, that it's also time to take action, okay? Because this is all about you doing what you are passionate about, but you are at the same time healing and ascending onto the next level of your spiritual journey. Just remember what I said before. Just remember that this is to do with the new knowledge and that you're going to be able to kind of start using now. So this is why this is going to mean to you so much indeed. Another thing I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous aquamarini, and I know that you're going to benefit from this so much. New jade. So beautiful. I absolutely love green crystals. Like, I love green crystals. So new jade, it's fantastic when it comes to you feeling negative, sad, depressed, low, disconnected, miserable, down. Every single time when you feel so negative, you just wear new jade and it just beautifully and gently really elevates you. But it also brings you a good luck when it comes to making important decisions, when it comes to career, when it comes to finances, you know, when it comes to like you, not necessarily with that, when it comes to like you working on something important, something that means to you so much, whether it's to do with emotions or whether it's to do with the people in your life, whether it's to do with what you're working on, it doesn't matter. It still brings a good luck into your life, okay? So this gorgeous green jade comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous aquamarini, you're also supporting my channel as well. The next important date is going to be on the 23rd of October. On the 23rd of October, I like this quite a lot because it's about you finding out very important information, very important news. I like it so much because it's to do with something that was stuck in the process for a while, and it's to do with something that you were so anxious about. It's to do with some kind of a justice that you are gonna feel very victorious about. But it's not only about the justice, it's about the fact that this is now bringing a proper balance into your life. This is to do with either legal problem, a legal justice, or it's to do with you waiting for so long for somebody to make some kind of decision for you. However this is actually going to work into your favor. But who you're going to find this out about, they're also going to actually tell you, because someone is going to tell you this, but at the same time they're also going to tell you like some kind of advice. This advice is going to be brilliant, because this advice is going to be such a big, huge, massive wake-up call when it comes to you, because you will know how to end something. You will know how to end something, and this is brilliant. And you know, and at the same time, my gorgeous aquamarini, you know, the 23rd of October, there is somebody very special who is about to enter your spiritual journey. Very special person. It's about to enter your spiritual journey here. Hello, my darling. And this special person who is about to enter your spiritual journey, let's see what the oracle card is going to say. That special person who is going to enter your spiritual journey. Let's see what that person is going to make impact on. Let's see, my gorgeous aquamarini, what that person is going to make an impact on. Let's see. Bam para para bam 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 dun 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 dun. Dum 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 dun dun dum 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 dum. Oh my God, do I need to say more? Do I need to say more, baby? That person is the part of your new beginning, okay? That person is the part of your new beginning. This is absolutely brilliant. What else can I say? Voyage of the heart, my gorgeous aquamarini. And also, do you know what? When it comes to the actual 24th of October, for example, when it comes to the actual 24th of October, somebody who's very artistic, and very good at something, and it's to do with some kind of art, whatever this is, somebody who's very artistic, it's really kind of going to inspire you to commit yourself to something. And you know what? You should commit yourself to whatever you are inspired by this wonderful person, because you're gonna realize something very, very specific about yourself, and you're gonna realize about something very specific about a certain skill that you are gonna need to take it on the next level. And that certain skill, it's also going to be the part of your brand new breakthrough, which is gonna also speed up so many elements in your life that have been dragging and affecting your energy levels for so long. By the time you get to the actual 31st of October, my gorgeous Aquamarini, now the 31st of October, you know what? You are really gonna, on the 31st of October, you're gonna, listen to me very carefully. On the 31st of October, pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs. That's what I need you to understand. Pay attention to the signs, especially when it comes to you worrying about something. I'm sorry, but there is something that you're gonna be worrying about, and it's complete unnecessary worry. Okay, but at the same time, whether I tell you this or not, you're still gonna be worrying about something. So that's why I want you to pay attention to signs, because you are going to have some kind of revelation. The bottom line is, whether you pay attention to the signs or not, actually, to correct this, you're still going to have such a powerful revelation. Okay, you are going to have a powerful revelation on the 31st of October. And this powerful revelation that you are going to have, it's not only gonna make so much clear to you, but it's also gonna point out towards some kind of potential. It's about an inspiration, and this is gonna reflect on oh my God, this is bringing such an abundance into your life. This is bringing such an abundance into your life, but it's also going to protect what you have created, and you have been prepared for this moment in time for a very, very long time. Do you know why? Because this is on one hand is the part of your wish that came true. Your dreams are slowly but surely becoming reality. This is the beginning of a very magical time in your life. And at the same time, on the second thing is that this is to do with a big answer which you are getting here, because this is to do with the rewards, really big reward that is actually coming from you, from a hard work, and you are successfully balancing so many priorities at once. This is to do with an amazing determination and willpower, which is going to lead towards literally public recognition. Oh my goodness. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you who are in relationships. Now, this is brilliant, because you are both going to kind of for the first time in absolute ages, you are going to be able to deal with some kind of a difficulty, something that it's basically it's the problem that was in between you two, something, maybe some kind of disagreement that you had few months ago. Maybe you wanted to do something, your partner didn't want to do something, but it's a lot about making a big decision. This is to do with a big decision, my gorgeous Aquamarini, and it's to do with the partners. Within the last few months, it's to do with a really big decision. You wanted to make one specific decision, and your partner was no baby, no, and you didn't want to back down, and your partner didn't want to back down, and this means to you so much to kind of take on to make that decision, but to your partner means as much to not to make that decision. But you know what, now there is a problem, and this was kind of left in the past, and this was only about a few months ago. You have to understand this, my gorgeous Aquamarini, that if you feel so passionate about making some kind of decision, you must go for it. And you need to explain this to your partner, because this is so important to you. This is the part of your soul, part of your spirit, part of your spiritual journey, part of your journey in general, part of your karma, part of your destiny. This will never go away. I repeat, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you spoke about it, you and your partner, within the last few months. Your partner was like, no baby, no. And you were like, I don't think so. And you see this, it would actually, it's gonna keep on coming back. It's gonna keep on coming back. It's gonna keep on coming back. The more passionate you are about making that decision, the more passionate your partner seems to be about not making that decision. So this difficulty, I call it a difficulty, is going to arise because you are gonna start talking about it, and you are gonna look at something and it's gonna remind you of what you wanted to do. So you're going to look at someone, or you're going to look at something, it's to do maybe to do with a certain lifestyle, or someone is going to say something and it's going to remind you, oh my God, I want to do this so much. And then you're going to remember your partner, no baby, no. And then you're going to be like, you know what, this is exactly what I needed. So after that moment in time, you will want to sort this out, and you need to go for this. You need to explain to your partner how much this actually means to you. And this is going to keep on coming back and coming back and coming back. You know, your partner, it's actually going to change their mind about this later. So you just need to reassure your partner that everything is going to be fine, and your partner maybe think it's to do with a big risk, or your partner think it's completely unnecessary, your partner think that maybe you're not ready for this big decision, or whatever it is, your partner is wrong. You need to change, you need to make sure that you change your partner's mind, you know, because if you don't do this, if you don't make this decision, if you don't make this decision that you wanted to make, you're going to be unhappy so unnecessarily. And on top of that, you know, you're going to make a completely unnecessary sacrifice later on down on the line. And your partner is not even going to realize that this is because of that, you know. So this is why whichever decision that you've had, it's the right decision, my gorgeous Aquamarini, because it's going to make both of you so much happy. It's going to start the process of transition. It's going to start the process of change. And you are really going to pretty much so make a really powerful readjustment, which is going to make both of your lives completely different in the best possible way. This particular decision is going to not only be so important for you, but for your partner as well. By the time you get to the end of February 2024, yes, I said February 2024, this is the time when you're both going to be able to see the full impact already of that particular decision that you've made, and you are both going to be so much happier. You're both going to be enjoying things you're not enjoying now. So what is there not to like? Do you see what I mean? My gorgeous Aquamarini, you know, you're such an empath. You're very psychic, you're very intuitive. So you do know that this is something that you should do. So this is why your partner needs to like shut up a little bit. No, I'm joking. Your partner needs to kind of like really kind of like chill out a little bit, basically. So now for those of you who are single and ready to mingle, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you see, for those of you who are single, I know that at around the 18th of October, you are... Hello, Coco, he's coughing. At around the 18th, he's got like a fur ball, you know. At around the 18th of October, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you're actually gonna, you're gonna look at a group of people and you're gonna think like, what have they done to themselves? I don't know. You're gonna be looking at a group of people, this is for those of you who are single, and you're gonna be thinking like that they have done something to themselves that they shouldn't have done, you know. And then you're gonna feel sorry for them. Whatever this is, you're gonna feel sorry for this group of people, but there is nothing that you can do about it whatsoever. And the reason why am I saying this is for the love reading for single Aquamarinis. The reason why I'm saying this, because shortly after that, on the 18th of October, this is actually going to have a really powerful impact on you, and you're going to become very determined to do something that you're very experienced about. You know, you're going to feel very, does that make sense? You're going to feel very determined to do something what you're experienced about. Yeah, I guess it does, yeah. But then again, at the same time, it's to do with something that you know how to do really well, and you can do without thinking whatsoever. So something that naturally comes to you. You are going to have an idea when it comes to that. An idea. Okay, so you know, whatever this means to you, this is important. That particular idea that you are going to have, you are going to be required to go somewhere where you've never been before. And once you go where you've never been before, you are going to meet somebody very specific, somebody very special, and this is going to happen at around the end of this month. Somebody very special, and once you meet this special person, this in itself is going to be like such a beautiful and powerful experience in itself, which means that on another note, you know, this particular person who you're going to meet, you wouldn't actually meet otherwise. And this is why I had to start this reading bit by bit, step by step. So it's all going to start with you seeing something weird and strange, and something that people have done to themselves, damaged themselves, or whatever they've done, you know. That's what you're going to be thinking about. But then after that, you're going to become very determined to actually take some kind of skill or something on the next level. That's how you're going to thinking about. But then you're going to have an idea. What do you need to do and where you need to go? And that particular idea, it's going to put you on the path with somebody very, very special. Not only that this is going to be such a beautiful and positive experience, but you are going to come across this wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous person. This gorgeous person you're going to come across, it's like you're going to be like, where have you been all my life? Where have you been all my life? Instantly, there is going to be such a powerful attraction. But then again, at the same time, it's not only about physicality, like a physical attraction, it's also about you having a very intense conversation about something really specific. Once you realize how much you get on, once you realize how much you have to share, once you realize how different you are, but how identical you are, but you're gonna like this because the balance is gonna be absolutely superb. You will realize that all your life you've been waiting for that particular person. And please do not be upset if that person doesn't appear by the end of October, because October and November are very, very similar indeed. Sometimes the certain signs, you know, things happen slightly earlier, and to some of the signs, some of the people slightly later. So do not be upset whatsoever, because if that person doesn't appear in October, it's most certainly going to appear by the end of November 2023. I'm talking about someone who's going to make an absolutely huge impact on your life. You're going to spread your wings and fly, baby. But on another hand, you're going to learn so much more about yourself and about your life in general. Okay, my gorgeous Aquamarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.